Hi, it's Will Gaskins.
And Derek Nowak with TableTopGenerals.
And tonight we are going to be unboxing Fantasy Flight's Star Wars Edge of the Empire beginner game. It is the very basic introduction to role-playing in the Star Wars universe by Fantasy Flight. They are going to be coming out with actual core, big, thick hardcover rulebook, but it's not been released yet. But this is out and available now. So we're just going to show you what's in the box and talk about our initial thoughts on it.
One of the first things that are in here are character sheets. You got pre-generated ones that come with basic information, and then after you get to a certain point in the pre-made storyline, you advance. It gives you the options that you can pick from. Your characters will be a modified protocol droid.
They're calling him a colonist.
A human smuggler, a Wookiee hired gun, and a Twi'lek bounty hunter.
Other box contents, we've got a read this first sheet, and it talks about your standard, what is a role-playing game, who are the players, and gives you an example of play. It's got the screen crawl on the back of it, which is kind of cool. That'll be familiar to all Star Wars fans. It's got about a 3-page example of role-playing in it. And then it says, read this first. And then you've got the adventure book, read this second, it says right here. And it is a very step-by-step walkthrough on role-playing games in general and Star Wars role-playing game in particular, about almost like a choose-your-own-adventure style linear adventure, just to introduce people to the world of role-playing and the world of role-playing in the Star Wars universe. It's got good artwork, pretty clear text. You know, it's not confusing like some systems. So you run through this adventure, and then it says, read this book last. This is the basic rule book. I'm going to talk a little bit about that for us.
Flip through the book. Honestly, one of the first things is that the dice system they use is not numerical. They're color-coded and symbol-based. You have successes, you have advantages, you have threats and despair. It's a little weird looking at it at first, but 3 or 4 pages into the basic rule book, it all makes a lot more sense. The examples are clear-cut. It gives you several on like how to slice a computer, and it gives you several different character approaches, so that way it makes sure that you understand the rules very clearly. You'll get ability dice, which are green, which can be upgraded to these yellow ones. You'll get the difficulty dice, which are these purple ones, which can be upgraded to a red one, challenging. And then you'll have situational bonuses and situational penalties. Basically, the way it'll work is that you kind of figure out what your stat and your skill is, and it'll tell you how many of the green dice you're going to use and how many get upgraded to the yellow dice. And then your GM will tell you how many of the penalty dice you're going to add in. That creates your dice pool, and you'll work from that.
So you add up your successes, and then you add up your failures. And if you come out with more successes than more failures, then you've succeeded. And if you come out with a bunch more successes, or if you upgrade and get the...
They have they have what's called the success symbol, which looks like a little explosion. And then they've got this one, which looks like a crest with a little dot in it, is your advantage situation. So even if you fail a skill check or an attack roll, if you get one advantage and no, they call them threat symbols, something good can still come out of it, even if you fail. So it's kind of a nice little twist to the game. You don't see a lot of systems that have anything like that, so it's going to be interesting to try.
I mean, I'm an old school gamer, and when Derek was describing this to me as he was reading it a few minutes before we shot this video, I was like, I don't like it. I don't like it. You know, but then he explained it to me, like he said, his 3rd or 4th page. You're like, oh, here's a handy little chart with, like you said, very clear examples of how to do it. And then I'm like, oh, okay, you just got to get used to it. So we haven't actually played the game yet, but I'm sure we will in the very near future, and we'll probably put a video up about that, about what we think about the dice system after actually having used it in an adventure, in the adventure that comes with the game. There's a couple other things that came in the box are a bunch of tokens. I've got TIE Fighter token, a YT-1300 Freighter token. There are...
Gotta give props to the Rancor.
Yeah, there's a Rancor token. And then there are various character tokens. I've got Stormtroopers, Gamorrean Guards, one for each of the pre-generated characters that come with it. And then these little light side, dark side tokens. And then the final thing that came in the box is some maps. And as you can see, these are, here's a map of Mos Shetta, just the town, and then they've got the spaceport control and the cantina, which are areas that your characters will pass through during the adventure, and then a map of the shuttle. And it's interesting to note there's no grid on these, like you see on a lot of role-playing game maps. There's no grids or hexes, so not entirely sure how that's going to work with if you're using a map and tokens to roleplay out, but we'll try it out. I'm sure that the rules will tell us about it, and we'll let you know. And then the last thing in the box is, if you go to fantasyflightgames.com, they have additional adventures for download. It's a brand new product. We have not played it yet. We just want to give you a little walkthrough of the contents of the box so you can know what to expect. It's retailing for $29.99. You can get that from us at www.TableTopGenerals.com. And after we play through the adventure, we will let you know our thoughts on it. So thank you for watching. William Gaskins,
Eric Noack.
Tabletop Generals. You have a great day.